All right, welcome to the video, guys. Salt here. Today we're going to be going over the Kuva Bramma. Now, in this video series, I like to take a weapon and I test it on its own merits, meaning I don't like to use external factors to like increase weapon damage or statuses or anything like that. I just like to use the weapon itself. So, getting into the build here for the Kuva Bramma. It's an explosive bow, and it does have an alt fire where you can, hey turkey, it does have an alt fire where you can detonate the bow or the arrow mid-flight, um, but it's kind of niche. I don't really use that at all. So, all right. So the first mod we're going to be using is Galvanized Chamber for multi-shot. Then we're going to be using Vigilante Armaments for multi-shot. Then we're going to be using Serration for flat damage, and there is a few options for the Serration slot here, and I'll go over that at the end. Hunter Munitions to apply slash on criticals. Critical Delay and Vital Sense for crit chance and crit damage. Primed Firestorm to increase the blast radius of the Kuva Bramma. It already has a very good blast radius, and so you get more effect from Primed Firestorm because of it. So it'll be a really, really big blast radius. And then Primed Cryo Rounds for cold, because as a Progenitor, we're going to be picking Toxin. Prime Sniper Ammo Mutation for ammo pickup. It's very important for the Kuva Bramma. One of its main weaknesses is its really, really low ammo count. So you only get 5 ammo. Well, 1 in the magazine, which is, it's a bow, and then 5 ammo after that. And then Primary Merciless for the Arcane, which is going to give us a 360% damage increase and a little bit more reload speed, which I don't even know if that affects bows, but yeah, mostly for the flat damage for it. Okay, now going back to the Progenitor here. So you're going to pick Toxin as your Progenitor, and the reason is because Viral is the best element for non-Whispers content. So you could just plop in a cold mod, and then you would be making Viral. Or you could take the cold mod off, and you could put an electric one in there instead, and you would make Corrosive, which is the best element for Whispers content. Corrosive's also not a bad element for the Bramma itself, like even in regular content. So kind of up to you what you want to use there. Okay, now going over the Serration slot here, there is another option. So it's going to be Bladed Rounds is the other option. Hey, Marcellus. Well, I didn't actually do a video yesterday because I was babysitting the grandkid all day. And so I kind of felt bad, so I woke up in the middle of the night and I'm like, let me throw out a video, and so I threw out that Cortac video, and then this is like the regular video for today. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Turkey King. Like flat damage on top of flat damage is usually like kind of meh, and I'm with you 100%. And that's why there's options for the Serration slot here. So instead of Serration, you could go with Bladed Rounds, which is going to increase your critical damage. Now, it is going to change your gameplay up a little bit. You're going to have to aim in instead of just like hip firing with it. But it is going to possibly be better than Serration. So I'm going to go with Serration, but Bladed Rounds also is a very good option and probably would be stronger than Serration. You just have to change your gameplay up where you're aiming all the time. Now, I'm into like, completely min-maxed builds, but I also want to make the weapon like feel like it's supposed to feel. And like the Kuva Bramma is such a big AoE weapon that I don't really want to be aiming in with it. I just want to kind of shoot it into a group of enemies. Because, the other option, too, is if we go with Argon Scope here, or even, honestly, Galvanized Scope is an option as well. This build right here is going to be giving you yellow and orange crits, about 50-50. 50-50 yellow, 50-50 orange. You could get all orange crits and maybe a little bit of red crits if you were willing to put Galvanized Scope or Argon Scope in the Serration slot. But again, going back to I like to use weapons how they're kind of meant to be used. I don't feel like aiming for very precise headshots with the Kuva Bramma is really the way to go with it. It would technically increase its DPS, but it would also make it very annoying to use. You're going to kind of be hunting for headshots. Most of the kills you get are going to be AoE kills, and so they're not actually going to be counted as headshot kills. I mean, technically you would once in a while get a headshot kill, so you could keep Galvanized Scope up, but you're going to be like really hurting to farm those headshots. And so, Argon Scope, Galvanized Scope, they're an option. It would technically increase your crit tier, but I feel like the better way to increase your crit tier is just to, when you get a Riven, plop it over Serration. Just take Serration off, put Riven there, and then you should be into orange crits. It has a very low disposition, so this build being like 50-50 yellow and orange, a Riven with crit chance would probably still not get you into reds. It'd probably get you into like orange with maybe seeing a little bit of reds. But yeah, the bladed rounds option is, I think, if you didn't want to go the whole like aim in and try to get headshots with the Bramma, which I don't think is the way to go. But if you didn't want to go with that route, bladed rounds is a super good option to put over Serration here. I'm going to keep Serration on myself, but this is extremely competitive and possibly stronger than Serration. Bladed rounds, of course, is going to get stronger the higher crit tier you can get to. So at orange, crits, it's going to be stronger than if it was at yellow crits. Okay, so this is the build for the Kuva Bramma. What we're going to do is we're going to take it into 10 minutes of Steel Path Kuva Survival. We're going to kill some trash with it, kill some acolytes with it, and then we're going to take it through 10 minutes of Lua Conjunction Survival, where enemies are slightly stronger. We'll see how far it can get us there. Again, I don't like to mix this with any external things that increase damage, so I'm just going to be doing this on Naros with no Archon Shards. No mods or arcanes that affect weapon damage. And with a Sentinel with no Sentinel weapon, and the Sentinel itself has no mods that affect weapon damage. That way we can just test the weapon itself. Okay, so we're going to go into a Kuva Survival here. Enemies are going to be, what is that, 130? About 130. When we go into Lua, they'll be like 180 to 200.
Scans show Grenier harvesting Kuva nearby. Set off the alarms to draw.
I'm going to use my 4 here to double my armor, and that's the last ability I'm going to use. If I do have to use an ammo pad at any point, I'll make sure I say so. That way I've had an ammo issue.
Life support capsules. Use these to sustain your environment or attach Kuva catalysts to begin harvesting.
So you're going to see we're going to be looking at yellow and orange crits. We're not really going to be seeing red crits at all. Now, the higher you can get your crit tier up, the more bladed rounds would do for you. Now, again, we're not using bladed rounds on this build, but if you can get a Riven, bladed rounds, if you can get a Riven with crit chance and you're into like comfortably into orange crits, where you're doing all orange crits, bladed rounds will 100% be way better than Serration. Even where it currently sits, bladed rounds might be better than Serration. So, it's up to you. You can switch between Serration and bladed rounds. Now, the big thing with the Bramma, the big thing that a lot of people complain about is the horrible ammo economy of this. But as you can see, I'm just sitting at, if you look in the bottom right, I'm sitting at 5. I'm just 5 all the time. I shoot and I'm at 5 already. And it's because of the ammo mutation mod. That mod will let you basically spam the Bramma. I mean, you can't be stupid about it. You can't be trying to kill like one enemy at a time. because then you're not really going to be getting enough ammo back to, you know, replace your shots. Because not every enemy is going to drop ammo, of course. So Eximuses are where the Bramma struggles. That's the worst enemy for the Bramma is Eximuses and Thraxes. And that's where Hunter Munitions comes into play. You're going to get most of your damage on Eximuses through Hunter Munitions, through the big slash proc of it. So we should be getting an Acolyte probably within like a minute or so. This actually does really well against the Acolyte. It struggles more in Eximuses than it does the Acolyte, actually. And on Eximuses, it's not horrible. You just gotta get a big meaty Hunter Munitions proc, like right there. That Hunter Munitions proc is just chewing that guy up. So here comes the Acolyte. Somewhere. There he is. 1, 2, 3. He's dead. So as you can see with those Eximuses, the actual, like, you know, explosions aren't doing most of the damage to them. It's the Hunter Munition slash proc afterwards is what's doing most of the damage to the Eximuses. So Hunter Munitions is going to be very important on this build just because of its weakness against them. I dodged right into that Blix Eximus's attack. Get this Kuva Guardian down.
Go to extraction.
So nothing on this current build is going to require you to aim in, but if you do decide to use bladed rounds instead of serration, just make sure you know to know that you actually have to aim in with it, which is it's not horrible to have to aim in with it. Now, what I think is horrible is if you choose to go the galvanized scope route. That is going to be horrible because not only do you have to aim in, but you have to really be looking to get headshot kills. Just getting headshots is not enough. You want to be getting headshot kills with that. And I feel like that is not really worth it. Yes, it will technically increase your crit tier, but you know the time it's going to take you to be like carefully aiming headshots to get the headshot kills, it might actually decrease your DPS. Would extra ammo be beneficial or not? It would be. So like if you didn't have ammo mutation mod, like I think there's what I think it's called like Trick Mag, gives you more base ammo. That would be beneficial, but if you have access to the ammo mutation mod, that's going to be stronger than Trick Mag. All right, we're at 30% life support. I'm actually going to run to this first set of life supports. Hit a few up. Oh, I just passed one back there, actually. But like if you got a Riven that had extra ammo, you know, it probably wouldn't be like the exact stat you're going for, but it wouldn't be a bad stat. Extra ammo. It'd make the weapon a little bit more comfy. Like in situations like this where I'm not right down there to pick up the extra ammo, like look, I'm only at 1 shot left now. But if I go down there, they'll be back to up to 5. So as long as you're going to the location where you're killing things, you'll pick up all the ammo they drop. Here comes the second Acolyte. Oof. I staggered myself right off of there. I only shot him once and he's almost dead. I don't know if that was the Hunter munitions, I think that almost killed him there. Where is he? I think, is that him right over there? Alright, he's dead. Alright, so at 10 minutes in, we'll check where our kill count is. When I do these tests, average weapons usually hit at about like 350 to 400 kills in 10 minutes. This, of course, is an above average weapon. I already know it's above average. I mean, I think most people know it. It's a very popular weapon. So we're almost definitely going to see well above 350 to 400. And yes, like Hunter Munitions does produce slash procs, which go through armor, but I have no other forms of armor strip on this weapon, and it's still chewing right through Grenier. And you will have to kind of rely on Hunter Munitions for Eximuses, though. That's where this weapon struggles. Alright, so 10 minutes in, we're at 930 kills, which is extremely good. Let's head over to Extraction, and then we'll queue up that Lua Conjunction, which will be a little bit tougher, a little bit stronger enemies, and they're going to be mixed enemies. So not just all Grenier. Oh, Turkey, I just saw your comment there. Can it even headshot kill? It can, but the actual direct damage is much lower than the radial damage of it. And so that's the problem with scope, is like you could use galvanized scope and you could get it to red crit technically, but it's going to be such a gigantic pain in the ass trying to keep up those headshot kills that it's probably not worth it. It's just going to be such an annoying weapon to play trying to use galvanized scope. That you're just not even going to want to use it. So, like, it's one of those things where, yes, if you really want to min-max, Galvanized Scope could get it to red crits all the time. But is it worth it? Like, is it worth actually doing it with this weapon? I'm all about min-maxing, but I am also about, like, playing a weapon as it, like, should be played. I don't feel like Galvanized Scope on this weapon is playing it as it should be played. But, I mean, I guess that's up to the person playing it, too, though. Okay, so let's queue up the Lua Conjunction Survival. I'm going to slam out like 10 minutes into this, if it can get through it, but I'm pretty sure it will. Now, it is going to struggle against those Thraxes. Eximuses and Thraxes, this weapon's going to struggle against. You're going to have to hope that Hunter Munitions gets nice meaty slash procs on the enemies. So I'm going to cast my 4 here to double my armor, and that's the last time I'm going to use an ability.
Stand by for life support.
You know, and of course, like, with this series I'm doing, I'm only using the weapon itself. There are external ways to increase your crit as well. So, like, you know, if you were using, I don't know if it's the best Harrow weapon, but if, like, you were using Harrow, you can increase your crit that way. So, like, you could be getting into different crit tiers by just using external things that are going to increase those crit tiers. But for the purpose of this series, I just do the weapon. I don't do any other external buffers. Let me head over to the more open area over here.
Technology may work here due to the Circulus's proximity. If you have a necromech, you may use it.
So as you've noticed, we haven't really, you know, the big thing people complain about with the Bramma is the ammo. But we haven't had any ammo issues, and that's because of ammo mutation. Now, I do have the primed version of ammo mutation, so the regular version is going to be a little bit weaker, but it's still going to be, like, top tier on this weapon. You really need ammo mutation for this weapon to function correctly. Without ammo mutation, you would have to use a loot frame with this weapon to get extra ammo. So if for some reason you wanted to use, forgot exactly what it's called. There's a mod where it like sometimes increases your crit tier. It's popular in certain builds, but if you wanted to use that one, you would have to use a loot frame with this weapon to kind of support its ammo hungriness. Or, you know, there's other frames like Protea that can put dispensary down and stuff. But as long as you have ammo mutation, you should be good to go. You don't really need to use all those crazy things. All right, we're at 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Now, sometimes the 5-minute mark can be a little bit rough because you get both the Thrax and the Acolyte. But it looks like the Acolyte's coming early this time, so that'll be good. That'll let us fight the Acolyte solo and then fight the Thraxes solo. Malice, he's the most dangerous Acolyte. So he's going to put a bubble on me, and he's going to try to get me to kill myself. I got to roll out of the bubble. I'm going to leave it right there, and then I can fight Malice and not have to worry about killing myself. Now, he will try to put another bubble on you, but it takes him like a few seconds to cast it again. Oop, I almost fell into the bubble I left on the ground and killed myself after Malice was dead. That would have been funny.
If they detect it, fighters will soon attack. The sentient has detected you. Fighters incoming.
So I'm not really being careful with my shots. I'm kind of just spamming it. The only thing you really got to be mindful of is don't try to be like killing one single small enemy at a time with this. Try to at least get like 2 or 3 enemies at once with each shot. And as long as you can do that, you're going to be getting enough ammo where you don't even have to worry too much. Here come the Thraxes. Now, the weapon itself is going to do pretty poor against the Thraxes, but the slash procs. Slash procs are where I'm hoping it's going to kill these guys. So, just try to get as many hits in so you can get as many slash procs in. And then over time, Hunter munitions will kill these guys. That's 1 gone. It's 2 gone. Oh my goodness. I'm going to hit this 1 life support up here. I kind of messed up that shot on the Thrax and my operator got taken out. There we go. Okay, Thraxes are dealt with. Do another 4 minutes until the next Thrax group comes, and then we'll roll out. I'm going to hit this life support right here, and I'm going to slowly make myself, or make my way over to the next set of life supports. Try to Congo line up some of these enemies over. So we're at 8 minutes, 2 more minutes left. Second Acolyte should be coming pretty soon. What I like to do with weapons like this that are kind of slow to fire and they have a big AoE is I like to jump in the air and shoot. That way you get a better view of where the best place to put your shot is. Because just like shooting linearly at enemies, sometimes you really can't see. So I could jump in the air. I can see okay, this is the middle of the enemies. I can put my shot in, and you kind of get like max value for each shot that way. So I don't know if it's annoying watching me like jump in the air over and over, but like with weapons like this, it's what I like to do to get proper placement of shots. Proboscis Cernos is a similar one. So we have the second Acolyte coming. What is that? Is that Mania? 1, 2, 3. 4, and he's gone. You have the second set of Thraxes here. Actually, before we go into the big fight, I'm going to pop 1 life support. And I'll be killing 1 at a time. I think killing 2 at a time kind of screwed me up last time. Kill 1, deal with him with my operator, and then the second one. So the first one's dead. You see he died from 100 munitions there, not really from the direct damage. Okay. All right, and that was both of the Thraxes. So we're at 696 kills. I'm going to head over to Extraction. Now, in Lua Conjunction, you expect to get a little bit less kills than in Kuva Survival, just because enemies are stronger, and you also spend more time fighting Thraxes. Like some of your minutes are spent dealing with 2 large enemies where you don't get a lot of kills while you're doing it. So we'll go over the build one more time, and that'll be it for the Kuva Bramma. All right, Kuva Bramma, the explosive bow. It has a weird, unique trait where you can alternate fire to detonate your arrows midair. It's kind of niche. I literally never use it, so, but it's there if you want to try it. So we're gonna go with Galvanized Chamber for multi-shot, Vigilante Armaments for more multi-shot. We're gonna go with Serration for flat damage, although there's some options for the slot, and I'll go over that at the end. Hunter Munitions to apply slash procs on critical. Critical Delay and Vital Sense for crit chance, crit damage mods. Primed Firestorm to increase your blast radius. And then Primed Cryo Rounds because you're going to be going with a Toxic Progenitor. And so this is going to make viral. And going with a Toxic Progenitor also lets you switch between corrosive and viral. So viral is the best general element for the general game, like regular game, and then the new Whispers content, corrosive is the best general element. So having a Toxin Progenitor lets you
Is that a pun?
it lets you switch quickly between the two. So you can just take off cryo rounds, you can put an electric mod on, and then bam, you have corrosive there. Or you pop on a cold mod and you have viral. So Toxin Progenitor is what you're going to want to get with this. We're going to go with Primed Sniper Ammo Mutation. If you don't have the Prime version, the regular version's fine too. It's just going to replace your ammo, which is extremely important because you have a super poor ammo supply on this weapon. And then Primary Merciless for a large 360% damage boost. As well as a little bit more reload speed. I don't even know if that works on the Kuva Bramma. It doesn't really matter. So, and then for the Serration slot, just to go back to this here, there is an option for Bladed Rounds. So Bladed Rounds is the other option for this slot here. So Bladed Rounds is going to change your gameplay slightly because you're going to have to start aiming in with each shot. It's not horrible to have to aim in with each shot, especially because it's not, it's not a super fast firing weapon. So aiming in once in a while to put a shot down is not too bad. Bladed Rounds gets stronger the higher your crit tier goes. So with this build, we have a yellows and orange crit tiers where we're hitting like 50-50, 50-50 yellows, 50-50 oranges. If you can get a Riven that puts you comfortably into oranges, or even oranges into a little bit of reds, Bladed Rounds will start being even stronger. But this is also the slot where your Riven will likely go, or Vigilante Armaments. Both of these could be the Riven slot. But if you're using serration is definitely the weakest of all the mods. So serration will be your ribbon slot if you're using serration. So that is the build there. I hope you guys liked it. If you're watching on YouTube, give it a like. And thank you so much for watching, guys. All right, bye.